off Lincoln County 34-6. Roane County winning over Clay County 42-19. And also winners over Lewis County by a final of 34-0 for Poca of head coach Seth Ramsey. Well, they scored first against Nitro, but then the Wildcats reeled off 56, a 56-6 win for Nitro. Chapmanville, very good team, defeated the Dots 24-14. Since then, victories over Buffalo 49-16 and Logan, good game last week, 26-20. Again, Roane County has won 16 consecutive regular season games, coming off that historic win last year to close out that 10-0 season and then into the playoffs, and got that another historic win, first ever home victory in postseason play against Weir before falling to the North Marion Huskies. So Gavin Perry, a very, very good kicker, Mick. We're going to see some good kickers in this game.
Yes, we are going to see some good kickers in this game, and both guys was putting on a show in pregame. So, yeah.
Barry works with Brian Johnson, who lives in Ripley and was a standout kicker for the Vikings and the Kentucky Wildcats. Lane Watson, who's having a great year, the junior, hauls it in, and Watson trying to take it the distance, and he will. 90-yard kickoff return by Lane Watson. Well, he was our player to watch.
Yes, sir, and I hope everybody got to watch him. 11:47 left on the clock, and he's already in the end zone. Hey, nice homecoming start, right?
So many great plays by Watson this season. And, boy, I mean, he was going to be counted on heavily. And since they lost Shea Harper, Harper ran the opening kickoff back against Shady Spring to start the season, 80 yards, taken down around the one. And, of course, unfortunately, later on was injured, out for the season. Watson has really picked up the slack in a lot of areas. So, well, we talked about the outstanding kicker for Poca in Barry, and now it's going to be Corbin Cottrell. And Cottrell drills it through. 6'2", 220, a junior, Corbin Cottrell. Another look, Mick.
Man, as you can see right here, he gets a good fold block up inside. And when these guys don't stay in their lane or out of their lane, now all of a sudden one block, he makes this guy miss right here. And, boy, I tell you, it's a foot race at that point. And he does a nice job, long legs, getting down. That'll start your homecoming game off correctly.
Yeah, that was Barry, the final chance at getting down Watson. And so just like that, the Raiders on the board.
Here's something from the coaching perspective. You want to return the opening kickoff for a touchdown, but it doesn't happen very often. On the other end of it is Poca. You don't want him to, and you want to make sure you get a stop right there, and you don't want to start the game down 7-0, giving up a special teams play already. So both coaches have a little frog in their throat to begin this game.
Well, it was an OVP Health kickoff. Formerly Ohio Valley Physicians, in business since 1999. And it's going to be another OVP Health kickoff, this time for the Raiders. Our Mark A. Hunt and Associates scoring summary, the Kanawha Valley's premier personal injury law firm, pretty easy. We didn't even need Robert for this.
That's right.
One play, 90 yards. We'll need him throughout the night, though.
Oh, he's invaluable, man.
Coben Cottrell sends it back deep, and Poca going to bring it out, and taken down quickly was Spencer Jones. Boy, Brandon Richardson has great speed and closes quickly, Mick, and he did there.
Oh, yeah, he got down there in a hurry, and the middle group that was coming down for Roane County did a nice job. There was no place to go, so he starts running sideways. Well, that's when the speed comes in. He made a nice play, so they're going to be starting at their 10.
All right, so Poca will have it already down 7-0, just 17 seconds into the contest. Peyton Cook is the sophomore quarterback, taking over for Jay Wolf, who had a great senior campaign for the Dots a year ago, throwing for 1,500 yards. Bonnet in motion. Now comes back to join Cook. And here is Bonnet taking it to the 14-yard line.
Handoff goes number 5, Preston Bonnet.
Preston Bonnet on the season. 85 carries, 628 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He's gone over 100 yards 4 times this season.
Impressive, Mark. Those are impressive statistics. And obviously they want to try to get the ball to him, and they want to try to get some explosive plays here in the first quarter, try to get this score tied up.
He's also caught 9 passes, 2 of those going for scores. Tony Belcher, the senior, out over the football. Floated out into the hands of Jack McClanahan, and McClanahan taken down out there in open field. Good closing tackle by Sawyer Hunt.
Well, he'll want this one back when he watches it on tape. He cut to the wrong side of the block. If he come to the inside, he's got a lot of green in front of him.
We'll bring up 3rd down and 3. McClanahan, the team's leading receiver, 16 receptions, now 17 on the year after that catch.
This is a nice play call, Mark, getting him out there one-on-one.
Beautiful evening here in Spencer. Glad to have you with us. Hand it off, and Bonnet finds the crease, and Bonnet. And let's see. Well, it's going to be close, Mick.
Yeah, they've not indicated it's a first down yet, so we may have a measurement here. It looks like he's still a half yard short, Mark. Oh, they give it first down.
And Grant Rhodes is our referee. Todd Lehue, the umpire. Brian Swan, the line judge. The linesman is Jason Kay. Dave Fisher, the field judge. And Bob DeFrank is the side judge. Our first downs in this opening quarter being sponsored by the University of Charleston. We are all Golden Eagles. The University of Charleston's mission is to educate each student for a life of productive work, enlightened living, and community involvement. Take the next step towards success. Poca taking the next step here on offense following the first down.
Well, they're doing a nice job of mixing things up, right, left, pulling some people, making it tough up front on the defensive alignment for Roane County. They're going to see where they can find a hole and try to spring their back loose because he's got some explosion.
Speaking of the University of Charleston, they will celebrate homecoming tomorrow there at Laley Field inside University of Charleston Stadium. Quinn Sanders' team off to a nice start, undefeated. They'll meet up with the Bobcats of Wesleyan. Cook hands it, and Bonnet.
Yeah.
Not much running room there.
This is what Poca did not want to do, Mark. They did not want to get in 3rd and long. They want to be predictable here.
So Cottrell and Clay Walker in on the stop. Walker, a junior. Cottrell, we talked about that powerful leg, and he became a kicker a year ago, was a straight-on kicker, and then switched over to being a soccer-style kicker, and now he's a complete football player. Both sides of the ball is still doing the kicking. Pressure coming, and just has to throw it away. Good job there by Clay Walker.
He didn't get it past the yard line, Mark. They're going to call him for intentional grounding, I believe, because he's got to get it past the line of scrimmage. And I think he threw it in behind it. I think that's going to be your call, but we'll see.
You have a flag on the play.
Now see the flag there at the 10. Here is Mr. Rhodes.
Intentional grounding on the offense. Ball did not cross the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty from the start of the foul. Loss it down. 4th down.
Ooh, that's a tough call on 3rd down. I know it's the right call, but man, it just puts you back here, and now you're swamping field position. You'd like to have some, and they're going to end up with really good field position right here unless he gets a whale of a punt.
Well, he had one a week ago. Bonnet is the punter, a 60-yarder last week against Logan. Seth Ramsey said it best about Bonnet. He can do about everything, and he was even thinking about having him drive the bus from Poca here to Spencer tonight. Not sure if that happened or not. So Bonnet, pressure coming. He gets it away, and Richardson, who has dazzling speed, hauls it in.
He's got a wall.
Richardson. There is a flag down as he gets to the 1. Couple of flags down.
I think we got a block and a back, up here at about the 19, 18-yard line. But first of all, he did a nice job of catching the ball in the air, Mark, not letting it bounce. So now he's on the run. He's moving. Grant's been busy early this game, hasn't he?
There with his umpire, Todd Lehue. Todd Lehue was...
What a player at Glenville State.
Yeah, Glenville State.
Wow. And Grafton.
Grafton Bearcat.
Played for the great Mike Skinner.
Onside block on the return team. 15 yards from spot of foul. First down.
Mark, that is a call that's being called a lot because they're going back and look both at the college and the pro, and that's where a lot of injuries occur. People don't see them, and they, someone just rails them and knocks their head off, and they try to hold up. You try to get your hands up, but it's difficult because you're trying to block for your guy. But if someone doesn't see you, but hey, for the safety of the game, it's probably best.
Talk about Todd Lehue and his son Luke Lehue is an outstanding athlete at Ripley. Went to West Virginia Wesleyan, was the Mountain East Conference Freshman of the Year, transferred to Pikeville as a basketball player, and was an NAIA All-American.
Yep.
All right, so we see Jacob Greathouse for the first time tonight, and the Roane offense goes to work here, and Clay Walker gets the call. Walker coming in, 180 yards, couple of touchdowns, 44 carries. Again, they lose Shea Harper. They were going to use a lot of guys anyway. Harper was the key guy coming back in the running game, but boy, have others filled in. Clay Walker, one of those.
And I'm sure it's taken a little while for these guys to digest. You get the first game, and this happens, and, Shea was such a good athlete anyway, Mark. He's not only a good back, he's a good athlete. And so you lose someone like that. So it'll take these guys 4 or 5 games to kind of get it and get where they're supposed to be. But they're obviously doing a pretty good job, averaging 325 yards on the ground.
Walker is a junior inside handoff here, and Poca does a great job of reading that out as they got it into the hands of Richardson, and the Dots make the stop there.
Yeah, that's a good job defensively, Mark. They stepped right up, didn't let all that pulling and stuff bother them. The wing coming on the inside reverse.
Jacob Paul, a junior, number 53, and Braden Boggs Holly, a freshman, in on the stop. Brings up 3rd down and 7. Ball at the 32. Just joining us, Lane Watson racing 90 yards on the opening kickoff of the game for Roane County. Cope and Cottrell out of the extra point. That's where we are. Pitch into the hands of Sawyer Hunt, who has done a nice job this season. He gets wrapped up around the collar there, and McClanahan making the stop.
Good job blocking to point attack by Roane County.
Going to be 4th down here for the Raiders. 6th meeting all time between Roane County and Poca. They have not played since 1997, so Paul Burdett now has the distinction of playing against Poca as a player and coaching against the Dots. 4th and short. And give it straight ahead, and Walker slams to the 20-yard line, 5-yard pickup, and that will be first down. First down's being sponsored by the University of Charleston.
I think it's very important to note, Mark, that they lost some good people up front last year, which was one of the reasons they had 2,000-yard rushers. But they have filled in was admirably the guys that's playing right now. And just like they play right there, boom, 5 yards in a hurry. So that's the reason they're getting 325 yards a game on the ground. That offensive line is starting to gel.
Richardson in motion and takes the handoff and looking to sweep around the left-hand side. Stopped it around the 15-yard line, and the tackle made by Colton Dunbar, younger brother of A.J. Dunbar, who was an outstanding track athlete and football player at Poca. Teasing Paul Burdett earlier that he's won 16 consecutive regular season games, so we've got to throw in 17. He was the winning head coach of the WCHS-TV Fox 7 North-South All-Star Football Classic this past June. We had the pleasure to call there at Black Eagle Stadium in South Charleston. Greathouse with the handoff, and Sawyer Hunt gets the call, and Hunt is not easy to bring down.
Run hard up in there. The offensive line did a nice job in kicking out and leading up. Good job, good play call. That's kind of Paul's MO, man. That's Roane County football. They just like to, they don't care whether they bloody your nose or bloody your mouth, their knees are skinned up. They're going to come in there and come after you in between them tackles.
First and goal now, University of Charleston, our first down sponsor. And here is Richardson, stopped in his tracks there. Dunbar coming to make the stop.
He missed his hole, Mark. If he cuts that thing back up in, he had 2 lead blocks up in there. He may have taken that thing into the end zone. Again, we're talking about inexperience, and he'll get better at this.
Hayden Thompson also there on the stop. He's the one that met Richardson head on. Seth Ramsey telling us, Roane's got a lot to defend, even if they don't have Shea Harper. We're seeing it here.
Exactly.
Hand it off to Richardson, and Richardson finds a crease and finds the end zone.
He decided to stay up in that hole. It was a little better when he has blockers in front of him. Stay up in that hole. That could have happened the last time, too, if he stayed up in there, but that was a well-executed play.
Well, Richardson had a nice punt return, greeted there by Coach Burdett and defensive coordinator Matt Peary. Coben Cottrell attempting the point after, and he drills it. Jacob Greathouse on the hold, and Lane Watson with the snap. Roane County with Richardson fighting his way into the end zone. Homecoming in Spencer. Raiders up on the dots, 14-0 here on FNR. Coben Cottrell getting set to tee it up. Mickey was a straight-on kicker, and then he told Paul Burdett, I want to switch and do soccer-style kicking, and Paul Burdett said, I'll give you one game. It worked out.
Yeah.
Brad Jones and Spencer Jones back deep, and this will be Brad Jones bringing it out and gets it to the 22-yard line on our OVP Health kickoff.
Well, you're right, Mark. He did a great job. He put her down there about the 2 or the 3, which allows his speedsters to get down the field.
Our scoring summary sponsored by Mark A. Hunt and Associates, the Kanawha Valley's premier personal injury law firm. 8 plays, 35 yards, takes 4:17 off the clock. Richardson gets in for Roane County to make it a 14-0 Raider lead here. 3:50 to go in the opening quarter. Wayne Watson took the opening kickoff back 90 yards. Here on Homecoming 2023 at County Stadium, Preston Bonnet makes one defender miss, and here's what Bonnet can do. Preston Bonnet takes it right to midfield. 28-yard pickup after the catch.
He did a great job keeping his eyes on the ball. Got out in front, made a guy miss, and man, he's on. Here you go, Mark. This is why. Look at that move right there. That's why he's so valuable. And he does a nice job getting inside that guy right there. And they were lucky he didn't have 6 more inches, or he may have been in the end zone.
5-sport athlete, Mick. Plays soccer, baseball, basketball, track, and football at Poca High School. That is rare in this day and age. Cook firing, got a man, McClanahan, guarded tightly there by Greathouse.
Good play call on first down. Try to catch him a little bit. They need to do that, as I said.
Take a shot here and there,
They're
right?
looking for explosive plays. They're not going to – I don't know if they're just going to run up there and just, try to grind it out with them. They need some explosive plays, along with establishing the run game. But you get these guys out in space, these athletes for Poca, they'll make plays.
Fastest guy on the team is McClanahan, and had a little step there with Greathouse. He recovered nicely for the incompletion. Cook dodges one. Can he dodge another? Shot it out there in the direction of Bonnet.
Hey, good thing that Roane had a spy on Bonnet right there, and he threw it incomplete because that ball could have been going the other way in a hurry. He did a good job just to get rid of it.
Cottrell drilled him from behind.
Yeah, those don't feel good.
We're going to have a face mask here go against the Raiders. And Jacob Bunner, certainly one of the outstanding players for this Roane County team, a senior, gets called for the face mask. Brings up 2nd down and 5 as Poca now in Roane territory. Hand it off to Brad Jones, and not much there for Jones as a host. A maroon jersey swarm him. Lane Watson was there, Sawyer Hunt, and many others.
Well, the left side of the defense for Roane County did a really good job of establishing himself, not letting him get to the outside, taking on the blocker and pushing everything back inside. Really good job defensively.
Loss of 1 will bring up 3rd down and 6. Poca breaks the huddle. Looking to throw and overshoots McClanahan to bring up 4th down. Now Peyton Cook, first year playing quarterback, was a wide receiver, and Seth Ramsey says it's going to take a while, but with each game, he's getting better and better and starting to understand the offense, how to operate. Says one good thing about sophomores, they become juniors.
Yeah.
The old saying with any grade level.
Just experience, Mark. I mean, just the experience of it.
Well, you're facing a quarterback on the other side, Greathouse. He's making his 16th start tonight, right. And he has 16 starts, and he's a sophomore.
Right.
Cook unleashes, looking, and McClanahan throws that one away, and Roane County will take over.
Well, Mark, if he watches this on film, he and the coach is going to look, and 11 was standing right dead in the middle of the field, and there wasn't a guy on him. And I know, as you said, the experience factor has got to come in here because sometimes you just get happy feet and when you're not used to it. And he just did get nailed the play before. But boy, if he could have got the ball off, 11 was wide open, might have made a play and kept his drive going. Yeah, last thing he wanted to do with 2:34, give it back in midfield, almost at midfield to Roane County.
Yeah, had Dylan Bradley open there, but Roane takes over, leading at 14-0 with 2:34 to go here in this opening quarter. And I'll tell you what, just straight ahead and into Poca territory goes Clay Walker, just a bruising fullback. And Walker, 44 carries, 180 yards, 2 touchdowns as the season started. 12-yard pickup. University of Charleston, our first down sponsors here in the first and third quarters. Great house. Getting direction from head coach Paul Burdett. Gives it to Richardson, and Richardson slicing his way through traffic, but brought down by the Dots.
Grant's got hold. This one's going to come back. I'm going to have to get some ice down there for Grant at the halftime mark. It's about the fourth one he's thrown already.
Ethan Estep in on the stop there for Poca.
Marcus crew that's on this game tonight, the officials, they do, not only do they love the game of football and athletics, they're really competent officials. I mean, they really do a good job, and they've been all over this valley doing games. All these guys work together all the time as a crew. That's what makes them good.
David Fisher, field judge. He was a great player at my alma mater, Ripley.
He looks like he still can play more. Him and Todd both. My gosh.
Raiders will break the huddle with Colton Elliott, just a sophomore, out over the football. Paul Burdett says he's done a great job making all the calls this season. Richardson looking for room on the far side, and Richardson will be taken down at around the 35-yard line.
I like what he did, Mark. He got his hand on the blocker, and was whichever way he was going to go, he was going to be able to take it. And, of course, the young man from Poca did a good job just holding everything up so he can get some help from the inside.
Second and short coming up for the Raiders.
17-yard pickup, second down and 3. In Roane County High School, a consolidation of Old Walton and Spencer High Schools came on board in 1993, and the first ever game was against Poca on the road at O.O. White Stadium. They fell in that game by a final of 20-6. Great Jim Hamrick was the head coach of the Raiders. And a lot of construction up here, Mick. They are building a new middle school that will connect to Roane County High School, so it'll be a brand new Roane County Middle School at the moment here in the county. A couple of middle schools. Walton has one and Spencer has one, where Spencer's is the old Spencer High School. What a
facility.
Yeah, what a memory they had there, created back in 1990 and 91 with Jim Hamrick. They were runner-up, and then they won a state championship in Class AA. Seth Ramsey talking to his crew. Talk about a guy that stayed with it. Seth Ramsey.
Yeah.
They were 0-10 when he took over. His first 2 seasons, they were 0-10. Then they were 2-8. Then they got to 9-2 in 2018. 2019, 11-1. And in 2020, the COVID year, they were 4-1. 2021, 9-3. Reached the semis, lost to eventual state champ Fairmont Senior. 2-8 a year ago and 2-2 this year.
A heck of a team, Fairmont Senior. The team they lost to,
yes.
That was a pretty good high school football team.
Judy Ford would like to congratulate Anthony.
Some would have bowed out, but Seth Ramsey did not, and Poca football became relevant again. It was a program that had won 3 straight state championships under the great Bob Lemley.
$1,000 scholarship to the college of their choice from Todd Judy Ford.
2nd and 3. Greathouse looking to throw, unleashes, got a man and making the move and positioning himself and making the grab is Cottrell.
Well, you talked about what a good athlete he was, Mark, and he just exhibited it there. Put him out there and let him go and let him use his athleticism, get up and catch it.
His 6th catch of the season, and that one goes for 35 yards. and another Roane County touchdown. And now Cottrell will attempt the point after. Watson is the snapper, Greathouse the holder. Ball is down, kick is up, and it is good.
Here you go, Mark. Here he is. He's just going to let her fly before he gets hit. As you can see out here, he just gets on the outside. He uses his height and athleticism, puts in the end zone. 1:42 left in the first quarter, and they get 21-0 on him.
Pretty good coverage there by Spencer Jones, but in Cottrell.
Well, what do they always say, Mark? You as a receiver, high point the ball, put it up where your receiver has a chance to make a play, and that's exactly what the quarterback did.
Cottrell is 6'2", 220. But don't panic in terms of watching this game. A week ago, it was 28-3 in the first quarter with Spring Valley on top. And Hurricane came back and won that game 48-35. But it is a great start for Roane County, to say the least. Poca at the moment, 11 plays, 26 yards. Roane, 11 plays, 99 yards. In our Mark A. Hunt and Associates scoring summary, 3 plays, 54 yards, just taking 52 seconds. Greathouse to Cottrell for the touchdown.
Well, Poca can't afford now to go 3 and out and leave any time on this clock and allow the momentum that Roane has gathered toward the end of this quarter.
A game, by the way, last week, won by Hurricane. Greatest comeback in the history of Friday night rivals.
Good decision.
7 years, 64 F&R games, and that was the biggest comeback, 25-point deficit. And we were there.
It was a good ball game. I mean, it was a good, well-played game, both teams, man. You know, that's when your best has to be at their best. And both teams exhibited that.
First down, Dots at their own 20-yard line.
So the Dots will go to work here. We will see this Poca team twice here on FNR. They'll be hosting Winfield in a couple of weeks.
Ooh, that's a big rivalry. Has been for years.
So Tony Belcher, 250-pound senior, out over the football for Poca. Peyton Cook will await his snap. McClanahan in motion and give it to Bonnet, and Bonnet straight ahead. Richardson makes the stop.
Man, he does a good job up in the hole, Mark. He's got good eyes. Step up in there and cut, get to the outside. I mean, he made a run, maybe shouldn't have been for a yard or two. He made it into a 5-yard run.
Along with state coaching legend Mick Price, Hannah Klein on the sidelines, our wonderful F&R crew. Mark Martin, delighted to have you here. Edition number 5 of Friday Night Rivals this season from beautiful County Stadium here in Spencer. Cook looking. Cook lets it fly, and out there and making the grab is McClanahan. They'll mark him right about midfield. They brought him back a few, but McClanahan hauls it in from Cook, about a 25-yard pickup.
Nice job of getting the ball, getting himself in front of the defender, and catching the ball with his hands. Really good job, because that could have been an interception in a heartbeat.
Was a 25-yard pickup. First down by the Dots. First down sponsored in this first quarter by the University of Charleston. Low snap. Cook gets it to Bonnet, and Bonnet's got room. Tripped up over on the far side there. Nice job by Cottrell.
They got a nice drive going right now, Mark. And, if they can just keep this going and get a score on the board. I know probably we're not going to get it here at the end of the first, but, keep it going early in the second. They can get one. They can get some momentum and feel like they're back in it.
Dots, after losing 2 to start the season, have won 2 straight. Cook will give it to Bonnet again. Bonnet searching for running room, and he's got it. Another first down by Preston Bonnet. Richardson taking him down. Also in on the play for the Raiders of Roane County was Tyson Freeland.
35-yard line, first down, Poca.
16.3 showing on the clock.
Yeah, they may not get this one off. They may just decide to, come up and let it go and just go into the second quarter, and we've got a good drive going. Let's keep everybody together.
They have clock winding down. Our score bug having some issues, but no time remaining here at County Stadium. First quarter is in the books. The Raiders of Roane County on top of the Dots, 21-0. Roane County 4-0. Poca 2-2. First meeting since 1997. Back with the second quarter in a moment here on our Parmar Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week presented by Eyewitness Sports. Roane County 21 and Poca nothing. Our Parmar Friday Night Rivals game of the week. 2-2 Poca, 4-0 Roane County. Dots have something cooking here, maybe, Mick. And Jones gets the handoff and ripping through for a big gain there. The sophomore Brad Jones plays with his brother Spencer Jones, who's a freshman. They hope in a few years they're going to keep up with the Joneses here at
That's
Poca.
right, staying up with the Joneses. That was a great cut. I mean, plant that left foot, cut back up inside. He did a really good job of getting that 7 yards. I mean, and the offensive line did a nice job giving him a hope.
Up front for the Dots, Hayden Thompson, the left tackle, Jake Paul, the left guard, Tony Belcher, the center. Jack Tusig is the right guard, right tackle Nick Dillard. Preston Bonnet gets the call. And Bonnet tripped up. Great play there by Lane Watson.
Yeah, nice job of the left side of the Roane County defense, Mark. They really got out there because they know how explosive Bonnet is. So they know they got to get out there in a hurry. They can't let him turn the corner. Bring up, interesting call. Be 4-down territory, I'm sure, right here. So they got 2 plays to make this.
3rd down and a long one here. Bonnet in the backfield with quarterback Peyton Cook. Have a wing there, and that's Michael Henrich's. And slipping inside is Bonnet. Did he get it?
I think he's going to be short, Mark.
And try to slip him through there, but Roane County, and you know all week long, Paul Burdett, Matt Peary, his defensive coordinator, they have discussed many times with their guys about number 5.
Now their defense has to have some discipline here, Mark. You can't jump off. The guy goes in motion. You can't jump off and give him a first down automatically. So be disciplined and, attack the point of the ball. Good chance who's getting it here.
Give it to Bonnet, and Bonnet is stopped. Jacob Bunner, the senior, comes through and makes the stop. A tough break for Poca.
But a great job by Roane County, man. They got up in the hole quickly, had no place to go. And in a play that they really needed to get that yard to continue that drive, man, they've turned it over to a dangerous Roane County team who their perfect scenario now with 9:50 on the clock and up 21-0. Hey, let's take 9 minutes off and let's put it in the end zone. They are the three plays in a cloud of dust team if there ever was one.
So Jacob Greathouse is the quarterback. He's making his
some tough running, Mark.
No doubt. 17th start here tonight for Greathouse. As Walker got the call there, picks up 3 on the play. Well, there's kind of a joke. Jim Cooper, great editor, sports editor here at the Times Record, in a column said, when the coaches say, hey, Greathouse, there's going to be a lot of people turn and look. There's 5 Greathouses on this team.
Well, as you can see right now, Poca's putting a bunch of people in the box right now, Mark. They've got 9 guys all up within 8 yards of the line of scrimmage. And I think that's what they got to do. I think they got to make Roane County throw the ball.
Sawyer Hunt got the call that time. That'll bring up 3rd down. So, they got 5 Greathouses. 2 are brothers, Richard and Wyatt. Hogan Greathouse's dad does the stats. That is a common name here in Roane County. 3rd down and 4 from the 33. Richardson in motion, gets the handoff from Jacob Greathouse, has the first down and then some. Richardson plows his way to the 38-yard line of Poca. There is a flag on the play back at the 30-yard line.
Yep, this one's coming back, Mark. We got a hold on the inside. Now you can see out here, Mark, as he's getting to the outside, and it's kind of that. Well, anyway, it's a sprint. you're getting the guy in motion, you're giving it to him as he's going full speed, and you're trying to block out the edge and see what he can get. And in the process of doing that, Poca's moving to the left as the way the guy's running to his right, and somebody got their hand out there and tried to hook somebody to keep him from getting out there. So,
offense, number 58, 10-yard penalty, previous spot. Replay third down.
Well, wipe out a 28-yard gain by Richardson. One note we should make here, Mick, Roane with 21 points. First 4 games of the season, they had 14 points in the first half of all 4 of those games. Paul Burdett told his team at halftime, said, guys, there's not a rule that you can only score 14 and a half.
Yeah.
So they listened. They've got 21 right now, third down, 14, football to 23. Poca needing a stop, wanting to get that ball back. Greathouse will fake and roll. Lets it fly. Got a man, Cottrell. Couldn't haul it in. Guarded there by Bonnet.
If he gets that ball out a little bit earlier, I think he waited. The defense was able to adjust and make up, but, boy, he was open early.
Roane County last season in that historic 10-0 campaign. And they won the opener in the playoffs before falling to North Marion, outscoring the opposition 421 to 116.
Receiver, downfield, on the offense, number 58. Penalties refused. Fourth down.
Yeah, they're going to be punting this one out of there. They've just had 2 back-to-back penalties on plays, which is just killers. But punt it out of there.
So we'll see Cottrell for the first time punting the football. Averages 35 yards a punt. He's only had to punt 4 times in the first 4 games. He has got a live leg.
Oh, good job fair catching.
Bonnet on a knee, drops down. They'll mark it at the 48, and we have a break in the action here. Roane County 21, Poca nothing on FNR.
Silver Hyundai Sonata, license plate
21-0 our score here. Poca takes over with the football. Mark it at the 48-yard line following the 29-yard punt by Coben Cottrell. Seth Ramsey's Dots. We saw them earlier, Mick, with a nice drive. And going to gain some confidence from that. See if they can get on the board here. 7:55 to go in the first half. Homecoming queen here at Roane County High School will be crowned at halftime. Cook in the direction of Bonnet. Ball falls incomplete.
Number 5, Preston Bonnet.
You know, Mark, it's always a big deal when you have homecoming in a school that's still represented by a large community around it because it's such a big deal. And you're talking about kids that know each other. They go to church together. They grew up together. It's always neat, homecoming in West Virginia.
Poca coming off that big win last week over Logan, 26-20. They were up 20-7, had to fend off the Wildcats of head coach Gary Mullen. 2nd down and 10. McClanahan in motion, and they give it to McClanahan and loses his footing, and down he goes.
Jackson McClanahan, the ball carrier, gets up there in the backfield.
Well, these are the situations, Mark, that as a coach, you just don't want to be in. I mean, 3rd and long. And anytime it's 3rd and long, it's always a tough situation, especially at midfield because, you know, you may have to punt it back to, now you're going to give it back to Roane County. You may not get it back at the end of the half. I mean, they may take it down for 7 minutes. So you need to maybe get half of it here and go for it and try to throw it out in the flat and let Bonner do something.
McClanahan in motion. Cook looks to throw, has some protection, and across the middle and nearly hauled in there. But unfortunately falls incomplete as Landon Aldridge, we had him.
You know what every defensive secondary coach is saying right now? If you're reaching inside of him, you better knock it away. Because if you don't get it, he's behind you. He's going to the end zone.
You know, Aldridge has just one catch this season, but it's a 28-yard reception for a touchdown against Chapmanville. Poca will have to kick it away.
Now, Mark, you're watching Poca line up for this punt. And I'm going to tell you right now, they're about 7-8 yards off the ball. The shortest punting situation for anybody that I've seen for a while. But they just catch it and go. And can punt it.
Yeah, Bonnet drills it. Watson hauls it in at the 15, and he's taken down. What a play by McClanahan.
Yeah, that was great coverage. And, boy, I'll tell you what, for one step and punting it, Bonnet did a really good job. Got it out of there.
Well, we said last week he had a 60-yarder in that win over Logan. So the Raiders will start with the football at the 15-yard line.
I'm sure Coach Burdett's a little upset with some of these young men with all the penalties they've had against them tonight. And I guarantee in 7 minutes they're going to be hearing about it.
43-year-old Paul Burdett in his 13th season as the head coach of his alma mater. Graduated here in 1998. I quizzed Jim Hamrick one time of, you know, his Spencer teams, his Roane County teams. Said, name some of your best players. Well, he said, that's tough. But he said Paul Burdett's in the conversation, no doubt. Here's Richardson.
Nice move.
Richardson with the first down. First downs here in this second quarter being sponsored by Optimum.
Boy, Mark, that was blocked well at the point of attack. They had a guy kick out, and he could run it up in there, and that was a huge gain on first down.
Get closer, go farther with Optimum. 29-yard line. 5 first downs for the Raiders. 14-yard pickup there by Brandon Richardson. Coming into tonight's game, 599 yards on 72 carries. Adding to it here. 3 in the backfield. Richardson now goes in motion and handed off, and straight ahead goes Clay Walker.
If you
Pick your poison, right, Mick?
If you've watched Roane County football over the years, that play is indicative of them, and that's kind of a bread and butter. Lead back up inside, block down, kick out, get up inside there, and just, 8 yards right now. Bam. They're in the secondary right now. Hey, Mark, you made a comment about the quarterback and how, but I can't tell you how important it is for a coach to have somebody that can kind of everybody look to and settle down and has the experience that he does.
As a freshman last year, played in 12 games, and now he's in game 17 as the starter. They bottle up Richardson pretty well on that play.
Yeah, he needs to quit dancing in the hole, turn up in there and get 3 or 4 instead of trying to.
Hayden Thompson made the stop a little slow getting to his feet. Greathouse, no relation, became the quarterback after the graduation of Shadrach Greathouse, who was an outstanding quarterback at Roane County. You know, they lost Shea Harper there in that first game against Shady. Shadrach Greathouse. 1 year he and both Briar Begler in the first game broke collarbones. And speaking of breaking, Watson breaking tackles. Watson will be corralled from behind. Touchdown saving tackle there by Poca. And Brad Jones makes the stop as Watson is taken down at the 9-yard line, and player injured for Poca.
Yeah, he caught him from behind. He probably got on top of his heels and stuff. Those hurt, man. He probably got on his heels or landed on him. I'm going to knock the wind out of him a little bit. We hope he's okay. But that was a heck of a run. Great blocking to point attack. And then he just, used his strength and gets out there. He's got great speed.
52-yard pickup by Watson. Lane Watson, kind of refer to him as Thunder along with Lightning for Roane County with Richardson. And so it was Jones who made that touchdown saving tackle. And he's on the turf at the moment. Brad Jones.
Sometimes those plays like that where kids get hurt, they're on the back of them. They end up on their heels or their feet or something like that, and that hurts. Sometimes you're better off when you're facing them, you're one-on-one than that. But he did a great effort in keeping him from getting in the end zone, Mark. That was a tremendous effort on his part.
So Watson started the game, Mick, had a 90-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. That's his first carry, 52-yard dash there, and he is Roane County's leading rusher.
Yep.
They got a lot of guys that have toted the ball tonight, but there's Watson as the leading rusher right now. So the football at the 10 with 5:03 to go here in this first half. Roane County, a 21-0 lead and looking to add to it here on homecoming 2023.
Well, they need to get up to the ball, Mark, because the clock's running. There's only 8 seconds left. They don't want to delay a game here.
Greathouse turns, pitches it to Watson, and Watson gallops his way, fighting to get into the end zone, and they do a good job pulling him back.
That was old throwback by Roane County, the old power I formation, offset back, lead up in there.
Colton Dunbar keeping him out of the end zone. Maddie Lawson from Spencer, Rihanna Jones from Walton, Marissa Roberts from Clover. Those are the three young ladies vying for homecoming queen. Here's Watson into the end zone. Second touchdown of the night for the Roane Junior.
He deserved it. He's made some big plays here tonight. He deserved to get that one in after running it all the way down.
Roane County's fourth touchdown of the game. So Coben Cottrell ready to attempt the point after out of the hold of Greathouse. Watson, who just scored the touchdown, will snap it, and Poca comes in and blocks it.
That one didn't look like it was going to go from the get-go, Mark.
Spencer Jones in there to make the block.
That was a jailbreak on the left side.
Well, 6 plays, 85 yards, 2:57 off the clock. Our scoring summaries sponsored by Mark A. Hunt and Associates, the Kanawha Valley's premier personal injury law firm. It's now a 27-0 game. Well, Lane Watson with 2 touchdowns on the night. Our touchdown sponsor is Marshall University. At Marshall University, our mission is to provide a quality and innovative education to improve the health and well-being of the individual, family, community, and global society. We are Marshall. Thundering Herd with a big game tomorrow, Mick, against the Hokies of Virginia Tech.
That's a big one. All the green and white fans will be there, I'm sure. That's going to be a big game. They've had that marked on their calendar for a year, so that's a huge one.
Sellout at Jones Edwards Stadium. Cottrell on our OVP Health kickoff, and he booms this one, and Jones will haul it in. Nice return by Brad Jones.
Great starting field position off the kickoff mark. 35-yard line, 3 minutes, 57 seconds. No need to be in a hurry. Just mix some things up. Get the ball to your playmaker. See if you can't get a score going into the half. I think that would be big for them.
How about the kick by Cottrell? That was a beauty.
Strong leg.
35-yard line is where it'll all start here for Poca. Trying to get something going here with 3:57 remaining. Cook rolls, throws,
nice
catch made by McClanahan. Dodges one tackler and dodged another and takes the football to the 45-yard line. Roane, they've gotten away with a face mask there, but first down yardage.
Mark, the quarterback did a great job for having a lack of experience of coming out and trying to extend that play.
20-yard pickup and first down presented by Optimum here in this second quarter. Get closer, go farther with Optimum. Cook wants to throw again, guns it, and a great catch made. What a snag there by tight end Hunter Tusig. Seth Ramsey said, this kid's just very reliable, great hands, good route runner, leverage to get open. He showed all those attributes right there.
Strong kid too. When he gets out there, catch the ball with his hands.
9-yard pickup. Ball at the 36-yard line. Roane County. Lane Watson, 90-yard kickoff return to start the game. Brandon Richardson, a 9-yard run, 35-yard pass from Greathouse to Cottrell, and then Watson, a 1-yard run. Here's a handoff, and Preston Bonnet bangs his way. I'll tell you, I'm not sure. They made it tough.
Yeah, it's going to be close here.
On Bonnet. Hunt one of those in on the stop.
Third and short, going up for the Dots.
So it will be third down here for Poca.
Well, with the clock running also, Mark. But they'll have 2 plays to make this first down. Sometimes teams think you're just going to go for a quarterback sneak. Well, it looks like it is going to be quarterback sneak. Cool.
Good job by Cook, and I think he just got it. Lane Watson took him down. Well, there was good contact.
Sure was. Did a good job holding on to that because he had to get to the outside.
So another first down, sponsored by Optimum, and a fresh set of downs. Bunner, outstanding defensive player, number 69 for Roane County. Limps off there for the Raiders. Doesn't seem to be anything too serious. Brad Nichols is outstanding trainer at Roane County High School. Cook has 2 backs beside of him, and he lets it fly, looking for McClanahan, and that one lands where no one can get it.
Well, that's best. That's best. Sometimes just throw it down there and make him get off. Now you might be able to run a play where you run him down, straight down, and point, stop him, get him back out to the outside and throw to his back shoulder or back here. Because he had a lot of cushion on him, the defensive player did.
Clock stopped with 2:27 to go here in this first half of action. Tusig will come out wide to the near side. Just had that nice catch a moment ago. Give the ball to Bonnet. Bonnet gets away from 1 tackler and then 2, and got shoved in the back by Watson, but that's first down yardage for Preston Bonnet.
Nice run. A couple missed tackles out there. I'm sure Coach Burdett and Coach Peary are going to be happy with. But a nice run by Poca to give them a first down. 2 minutes and 19. They're moving it, trying to get one in here before the half ends, Mark.
He got away from Andy Jedden, who is an outstanding defender for the Raiders. Jedden wears number 20, senior. Ball at the 21. Pitch it to Bonnet. Bonnet slipped away from Cottrell, and Bonnet takes it just inside the 20, the 19, and so he gets Poca operating in the Glenville State University red zone. Glenville State University prepares and inspires students to be thoughtful, productive, engaged, and responsible citizens who contribute to the well-being of their community, state, nation, and world. Pioneer your future. Jerry Milliken, great former Pioneer coach in the house. He lives here in Spencer. I was talking to our Hannah Klein earlier tonight. 50 years ago, Glenville played for the NAIA National Championship. Cook guns the ball, and it falls incomplete in the end zone. You and Jerry didn't grow up too far from each other. Nope. He's a 100 high school graduate, and you're a Mannington High graduate.
Yep, he was at Glenville when I played at Fairmont. Good guy, man.
They'll bring up third down and 9 here for the Polka Dots, trying to make something happen offensively here, get on the board, staring at a 27-point deficit. And we saw a 25-point comeback a week ago by Hurricane against Spring Valley. All-time FNR comeback record. Who knows, Mick?
Good timeout.
We could have Dots come back, they break the record. We've got a timeout called here by Poca.
It's a good timeout, Mark, because it's third and about 8. They don't want to give up the ball right here. They want to call a play that maybe they can have another play come off of, whether it's a throw out in the flat and you get 5 yards. What do you got next? What's next? So it's a good timeout by the coaching staff.
The Paul Burdett years starting in 2011 as the head coach at Roane County, as you see Seth Ramsey and company over there on the dot sideline. Coach Burdett 8-3 his first season. He's had 6 playoff teams. In Poca with that great run under Bob Lemley.
Yeah, there were some pretty good teams at Poca during that period of time.
3 straight state championships at Wheeling Island Stadium.
It's hard to do. That's really hard to do.
Of course, facility there at OO White Stadium, the field. We were there last year for an FNR game, the season opener with Nitro, and dedicated the field that night. Now Bob Lemley Field at OO White Stadium. So third down 9 here. Ball just inside the 20. Cook fires and intercepted in the end zone by Lane Watson. And Lane Watson has some room. Watson will be taken down. They intercepted that about 2 yards deep in the end zone. About a 72-yard return. What a night.
Wow.
Lane Watson is having.
And what moves he made in order to get himself down there. Now, if you're Roane County, you're going to try, every coach works on this. Sudden change, Mark. Interception. You got defense. You got to stand up here. We can't not let them get in the 30s here at the halftime. So stand up and let's try to stop them right here. Now, for your Roane County, you still got a minute 16. And I'm sure these are things that you work on Thursday, whether it's 2-minute drill or whatever, passes, screens, things like that you want to try to get the ball down. Kick a field goal at least.
Colton Elliott comes out over center. Hand it to Richardson.
There's another hole, Mark.
Richardson takes it inside the 20. As you said, Mick, flag comes out.
Yep. Man, what was it, coach? Those just drive you crazy.
Here's Mr. Rhodes.
Hold. Offense, number 58. 10-yard penalty, previous spot. First down.
He's been on the mic more tonight than American Got Talent. I mean, you know.
The interception, 72 yards.
First game ever in Roane County football history against Poca, 1993. 18-6 loss. Poca's won them all. 94, 95, 96. They were all shutouts. 21-0, 40-0, 27-0, and then 97. It was a 26-6 victory for the Dots. Pitch it to Richardson.
Oh, that was well defended by Poca.
Yeah, Dunbar comes up and makes a stop. Think about that game, Mick, and all the football that's been played for Roane County since that time.
That was a great job defensively by Poca, Mark. They got up there, they turned him inside, and they had people filling right now. So they weren't going to let him get going and get his speed down the sideline or get out in the open field. And a good timeout. 40.5 seconds left here. Going in, got plenty of time. It's only second down. So there's plenty of time here. Swings, screens, reverses, throwbacks, anything right here to kind of keep them off balance, and there's plenty of time. And if you don't finish it, you got a field goal kicker. You and I watched them in pregame, Mark. These guys was booting the dog out of it, man. They're good.
Paul Burdett, 8-3 in 2011, 6-5, 7-4, 5-5, 6-4, 6-5. 2017, they suffered through an 0-10. We talked about Poca with Seth Ramsey suffering through those 0-10s, but boy, these programs, they fight back, and Coach Burdett and company, they certainly have. Again, here tonight, trying to get a 17th consecutive regular season victory against these Dots. Mick, does the name John Underwood ring a bell?
Yes. What an athlete.
John
What
Underwood
an athlete.
scored the first touchdown in Roane County history in that game against the Dots. 33-yard pass play from David Williams. The first Roane team finished 5-5.
Which is admirable, first team. I mean, that's tough to do.
Roane County rated second this week in Class AA from those ratings that come out by the West Virginia Secondary School Activities Commission. Highest rating ever for this Raider program. Greathouse rolls. And Greathouse will let it fly. And going up and making the grab, and then the ball comes out. Watson could not hang on. He made a sensational grab a week ago. Well, they are going to call it a reception at the 1.
What?
It's a 36-yard pass play.
Let's say he landed before the ball came out or popped out like he'd hit.
What a leaping grab by Watson. What a force he has become. And now they hand it off, and Richardson will scoot into the end zone. Marshall University, our touchdown sponsor, and Roane County has its 5th of the night. Well, it started with the 72-yard interception by Watson when he caught the ball in the end zone. And he makes that leaping grab there to get it down to the 1, and Richardson takes it in. And here is Cottrell. And Cottrell bangs that one through after Poca had blocked one earlier.
Well, you talk about how fast games change, Mark. You know, a couple plays here tonight. Opening kickoff, that's one. Then you have an interception in the end zone. It gets run back about 70 yards. I mean, the game can change so fast.
Our scoring summary sponsored by Mark A. Hunt and Associates, the Kanawha Valley's premier personal injury law firm. 3 plays, 30 yards, 50 seconds. Richardson caps it off, making it a 34-0 count. Yeah, you're right, Mick. I mean, Poca trying to dent the scoreboard, and the next thing you know, Roane's got the ball.
And deep in their territory.
Takes only 3 plays to put it in.
Well, I'm sure that neither coach would have expected this at the half. Because I know that, as you had said, Mark, Poca's coming into tonight's game, it's a 2-game winning streak, evening up their record to 2-2. So they had some confidence coming in. You know, Roane County's playing really well. I mean, you know, but they had missed a lot of guys from last year. The guys are starting to fill in and starting to feel comfortable in their positions. The coaching staff has done a really good job of trying to build confidence in them. And next thing you know, it's halftime, and you look up and it's 34-0. Holy smoke! How did that happen?
Time for another OVP Health Kickoff, formerly Ohio Valley Physicians, in business since 1999. Coben Cottrell ready to put his powerful leg into the football. Coming up, and Jones hauls it in and taken down at around the 22-yard line. And Poca will start right there. Brad Jones. Coming up on our Huntington Mall halftime report, we will salute our Todd Judy Ford Scholar athletes. In addition, we take you inside the two high schools for a peek at a couple of the great academic programs taking place at both Poca and Roane County, and we will bring you some of the great highlights from the first half. Mick and I will break it down, what we saw from the two teams during the first 24 minutes. It's all coming up on our Huntington Mall halftime report. The Huntington Mall invites you to discover all the great dishes their restaurants have to offer. Dine in, enjoy the patio, or eat in your car. It's the great dining adventure at the Huntington Mall. And Poca will take a knee here and get into the locker room and discuss the situation here, trailing 34-0 against the Roane County Raiders, in at 4-0 and number 2 this week in the Class AA ratings of West Virginia.
And that's the end of the first half with the score,
Hannah Klein
34, Dots nothing.
getting set to talk to Paul Burdett, the head coach of the Raiders. His team well in control here of the Dots. Hannah, take it away.
Well, Coach, this is the first time this season that this team has scored over 14 points before the half. Do you feel like you've kind of went over that hurdle?
Well, it's been it's really been something we've talked about. I told them it was not against the rules for us to score more than 14 points in the first half. They just really focused tonight and come out and you know, we've hit big plays in all three phases of the game, and we talked about that in pregame, how we had to dominate in all three phases. So very proud of the performance here in the first half.
Any adjustments going into the second half?
I think our adjustments are pretty good right now. You know, we've given up a couple passes, but you know, those really good balls by Poca, and great job by their receivers going up and getting the ball.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck. Awesome. Guys, I'll go ahead and send it back to you.
All right, thank you, Hannah. Huntington Mall halftime report coming up here. Homecoming 2023 at County Stadium in Spencer, and the homestanding Roane County Raiders lead it over the Polka Dots by a count of 34-0. You're watching coverage of our Parmar Friday Night Rivals game of the week.
Roane County High School would like to welcome you to tonight's homecoming activities. We will be announcing the homecoming court, beginning with London Justice. She's a ninth grade princess.
Sure? Yeah, I'm good.
She is the daughter of Jamie Justice and Taylor Justice of Spencer. London plans to attend Marshall University and graduate there with a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. London is escorted by Cash Williams, the son of Bo and Ashley.
County was on the ground and how many explosive players they've had and what they lost in the past. I mean, they lost some really good players, having an undefeated regular season last year for the first time in Roane County history school. And then Poca coming in, maybe on a high. They won 2 in a row and hoping to get things done. But, man, they just got too many things and shot themselves in the foot. And the next thing you know, you look up and it's 34-0, and I thought, oh, my gosh, what do we got to do? So in the second half, Mark, you really got to think, okay, Poca's got to come in. They're going to get the ball. They've got to get some offense, spread the ball around, and don't feel any failure. Just get out and make plays and try to keep it going. And in Roane County, they're going to try to keep these guys up because they have tendency to let up. 34-0 at homecoming, and they have tendency to let up. And I'm sure Coach Burdett and his coaching staff, they do not want any let up.
Lane Watson, 62 yards on 3 carries and a touchdown. Brandon Richardson, 9 carries and 50 yards and a touchdown. Jacob Greathouse was 2 of 3 through the air, 71 yards and a touchdown for the Raiders. Watson had a catch of 36 yards. Cottrell, a big grab of 35. Watson with the 90-yard kickoff return and a 72-yard interception return. The kickoff went for the first score of the game. Just 13 minutes, 13 seconds into the contest.
Well, that certainly changed the whole dynamics for this game, Mark, because we were expecting to see explosion plays on the other side of Poca and Roane County cutting up clock, three plays, cloud of dust, 3 downs every time, just keeping the ball on the ground, grind and pound it. But all of a sudden, that changes everything. And now it's 7-0, and they get the ball back, and it's 14, and, man, you just feel like if you're Poca, you just feel like, man, stuff just dropped right out from under us right there.
After the game, we'll have our Big Sandy Superstore big play of the game. When big plays happen, Big Sandy Superstore also donates $500 each week to the host school of our Parmar Friday Night Rivals game of the week. Hannah Klein earlier this evening with the athletic director here at Roane County High School, Toby Ford.
Probably that for transportation officials, whatever we happen to need. $500 doesn't sound like a lot, maybe, but it goes a long ways, and we really appreciate it. Yeah. And just the FNR, the Friday Night Rivals, to exposure, and for our kids, and even for Poca to be here and get on the TV, it's just great, fantastic stuff.
And talk a little bit about these students, the staff and faculty. They were kind of cheering when they saw that $500 check. Talk about how important this is for them as well.
Oh, it's anytime you can get any type of money here to help with anything is a big deal for all of us. We live in an area where there's lots of business and they always support us, but there's not as many or big businesses like you see in Charleston or other areas. So anytime we get any kind of donation, it's good for us.
Well, Toby, thank you so much for speaking with us. And then $500 going directly to Roane County High School. And thank you so much, Big Sandy Superstores.
All right, and we thank Toby Ford for being with us earlier this evening. Yeah, Toby was an all-stater in 1991. He was a great punter, great lineman for that Yellow Jacket AA state championship team of Spencer High School. First ever high school football team in West Virginia that went 14-0. That was the first year. The playoffs were expanded to 16 teams, and Jim Hamrick's crew, they'd been 13-1 the year before. And had all those guys back, his son Jay, the quarterback, and Matt McCulty, great receiver, many, many more. Tank Blosser, who is now an assistant with Paul Burdett. And you could just go on and on about that great team. The late, great Rick Hubbard was the defensive coordinator. Toby Ford, also a state champion wrestler his senior year. You know who he beat for the title? Tom Joyce, who is now the mayor of Parkersburg. Yeah.
Hey, Mark, I want to say this about Toby Ford. Not only is he a great representative for Roane County High School and helps all the sports so much, but he's a great representative for the Little Kanawha Conference. He's been involved in that and involved in so many of the playoffs and things that go on to make it sure it's a first-class conference. And guys like Toby is what makes it all worthwhile in that conference. It's a really tough conference, small school conference, and he does a wonderful job.
Cottrell with our OVP Health kickoff to get it going, and Jones will haul it in here to get things started for the Dots. And check that on the return here for Poca. It will be Noah Watson on the return.
Well, I guess we're going to see real quick what they can do, Mark, because they've got the ball and they've talked about the half and say, hey, look, let's loosen up. Let's get the ball out. We've thrown the ball. We've had some success doing it. Let's throw it and had to run in with it and try to keep them off balance.
Bonnet had 46 yards on 13 carries to lead Poca. Passing-wise, Peyton Cook was 5 of 13, an interception, 83 yards. McClanahan had 3 catches for 47 yards. So Poca with the football. Return out to the 24-yard lines, and here is Preston Bonnet, and down he goes. Watson makes the tackle, and I believe we're going to have ourselves a face mask.
I believe you're correct, Mark.
Grant Rhodes will sort it out.
Another penalty against Roane County tonight. Man, those coaches are going to be going crazy when they watch this film.
Face mask, defense, 15 yards, adds to the end of the run.
All right, so that gives Poca a first down. First down sponsor in this third quarter is the University of Charleston. We are all Golden Eagles. The University of Charleston's mission is to educate each student for a life of productive work, enlightened living, and community involvement. Take the next step toward success. Homecoming tomorrow at the University of Charleston as they face off with Wesleyan. And speaking of homecoming, Maddie Lawson, Homecoming Queen 2023 here at Roane County High School. Beautiful court, along with Rihanna Jones out of Walton. Maddie Lawson is from Spencer as McClanahan tries to find yardage over there. Marissa Roberts of Clover also making up that homecoming court. Bella Sampson of Leroy and London Justice of Spencer. They were the princesses for the freshman class. The sophomore class, Morgan Spencer of Spencer and Anna Tolley. And the junior class, Destiny Beckett of Spencer and Addison Rexroad of Walton. 2nd and 14, 4-yard loss there for the Dots. Trying to get out quickly here in this third quarter and nearly picked off. Boy, Watson he's just been everywhere tonight, Mick, as he bangs into Bonnet there, and the ball falls incomplete to bring up 3rd and 14.
Well, if you'll notice, Mark, the quarterback turned and looked at Bonnet, and he's looking right at him, and he's right on it. It's a good thing that was helped to be broken up, because he would have stepped 30 yards into the end zone easily, because there was nobody down the sideline that would have got him.
Seth Ramsey's Dots trying to make something happen here. Seth in his 9th year at the helm of the Dots. The son of 2 coaches, Larry and Mary, over in Clay County High grad, and he played baseball at West Virginia State for the late, great Cal Bailey, who's from here in Roane County. Spencer Cook does a great job getting away. How about Peyton Cook? Takes off with it and does all he can in all kinds of trouble.
He probably felt like he was in the inside of a tornado right there, because he was all over the place, but he did a great job to make nothing into something and keep him alive.
Speaking of the Ramsey family, Scott Ramsey is the offensive coordinator for his brother. Seth's the youngest of 4 kids. Dean Sigmund is the line coach. Thomas Miller, special teams, DB, wide receiver. Aaron Ramsey, another brother of Seth's, is the team chaplain. I have a sister who's for the tech education program there in Clay County. Great family. 4th down, 6. Poca going for it. Cook lofts it in the direction of Tusig, and the ball falls incomplete, and the Raiders will take over here. Roane County had that penalty a moment ago. 6 penalties, 65 yards for the Raiders, just 1 for Poca, 5 yards.
Yeah, and the coaches will address that. And, Mark, there's been 3 or 4 of those penalties are holding that brought back pretty good gains. So that's something that they're going to address. You can't have that as you go deep into your season. And then, like Paul talked to you about, Mark, they played a lot of their games here at home, being this 5th game for them at home. You get on the road, you may not get that. It may hurt you.
But Watson stands in at quarterback and takes the snap and hands to Richardson. and Richardson will get a couple, and then he will be taken down. We were talking about Toby Ford, the outstanding athletic director here at Roane County High School, and certainly want to thank Principal Craig Epling, Superintendent Dr. Richard Duncan, all those great folks for having us here for our Parmar Friday Night Rivals game of the week. Remember the COVID year, we came here twice.
Yeah.
We had them against Ravenswood and Ritchie County. Ritchie County had that great team. And then, of course, the following year, Rick Hott's crew won the single-A state championship. Richardson got 3. Now he gets a pitch from Watson, and Watson will be taken down. Good defense there by the Dots. Coming up and making the play was Colton Petrie, who is just a freshman. Petrie, in the mind of Seth Ramsey, could be the next great player at Poca. He says he's an up-and-comer and just a freshman.
Well, he did a really nice job of coming up, setting the edge, and then not going for any, the quick foot fakes, just taking him out the knees. Really good job.
3rd down and 7. So Great House is split out wide to the near side here. Here's Richardson with the ball, and down he goes at the 40.
Well, that's the first time they've run that play for a while that they haven't had a hold on it, Mark. So, I'm sure that was talked about at the half.
Jake Paul made the tackle. So ring up 4th down and 7. Well, we saw Poca go for it in Roane County territory. Here are the Raiders at the 40. And see what they do now. Great House will now move back into his more comfortable spot at quarterback. He's a good athlete. He can play about anywhere. And Great House rolls to his left, slings it out. Watson, using that big frame, goes up and gets it. And Watson's going to find the end zone once again tonight.
I hope when you see this back, Mark, you see what the defense did. He puts his hand up as if he's open going down. So the defensive player just kept floating with him. And then all of a sudden he backs up, quarterback hits him, he high points it, and boom, he's off to the races. Heck of a player right there, Mark.
Touchdown sponsored by Marshall University. At Marshall University, our mission is to provide a quality and innovative education to improve the health and well-being of the individual, family, community, and global society. We are Marshall. Cottrell attempting the point after. Great House the hold. Watson, who just scored a touchdown. He's the snapper, and in through the uprights it goes. And it's a 41-0 Roane County lead.
Here you can see right here, Mark. He comes out, high points the ball, catches it. The defensive player's behind him, makes a good move on this young man right here, and he's off to the races. Heck of an athlete.
Our scoring summary sponsored by Mark A. Hunt and Associates, the Kanawha Valley's premier personal injury law firm. 4 plays, 43 yards, taking 2:04 off the clock. Watson has scored on a kickoff return. He has scored on a pass reception. He has a rushing touchdown. He's played a good game defensively. And as you mentioned, he's just a whale of a player, and a big reason why Paul Burdett's crew coming in here 4-0 and looking to get to 5-0. And again, as we mentioned, 4 plays, 43 yards, 2:04 off the clock. OVP Health kickoff coming up here as Cottrell tees it up. OVP Health, formerly Ohio Valley Physicians, in business since 1999.
Let's see if we can't get a good return here, Mark, and get this thing back up toward midfield where they can get the ball up.
And Jones coming up to field it, and the ball goes into the end zone, so it will come out at the 20. Again, our officials, Grant Rhodes, Todd Lehue, Brian Swan, Jason Kay, Dave Fisher, and Bob DeFrank. Grant Rhodes, the referee, Lehue, the umpire, Swan, the line judge, the linesman, Jason Kay. Fisher is the field judge, and the side judge is Bob DeFrank. Should note on the festivities at halftime, Reese Gibson was the flower girl. That's the great-granddaughter of Jim Hamrick.
Yeah.
Saw her earlier tonight. What a cutie. All right, Poca back to work here now offensively. And I'm going to have a penalty on the Dots. Talked about some of the penalty situations for the Raiders, but now the Dots with the man jumping off sides.
Offense number 70, 5-yard penalty, first down.
You just got to keep your concentration here, Mark. You just got. I know you're down. I know it's 41-0, but you got to play. You got to play for tomorrow. I mean, you got to keep working so your team gets better and get ready, and hope you can get some positive things out of this second half, and maybe you can just use these things that you get on film so you can use them for the next game.
Each team with 8 first downs in the game, but on the scoreboard it is all Roane County. Cook back to pass, pressured and throwing in the direction of McClanahan, but Cottrell was applying some pressure there for Roane County.
It makes it tough when you're throwing off your back feet and going backwards. I mean, you can't get enough on it, and obviously didn't, but the pressure came from the outside. And, you just can't stand in there and throw it the way you need to in order to complete that play.
Talked about homecoming tomorrow at the University of Charleston. West Virginia State has homecoming tomorrow night, and 2 great players from that undefeated team a year ago at Roane County, Skylar Delk and Colton Paxton. They're both members of the State Yellow Jackets. McClanahan in motion, Bonnet with the call, and Bonnet has room.
Ooh.
Preston Bonnet finds his way to the 35-yard line.
Hey, he's tough, Mark. I mean, it's 41-0, and he's running like it's 41-41. You got to appreciate kids that continue to play in very tough situations.
Again, Bonnet, football player, basketball player, soccer player, track and field, baseball player. Seth Ramsey said, I'm going to try to get him to wrestle this winter. He picked up 20 on the play. First down, sponsored by the University of Charleston. This time, Clay Walker was waiting on Bonnet.
And off goes the 5, Preston Bonnet.
Remember, Mark, in the old days when he used to have the pump, pass, and kick contest?
I do.
I believe Bonnet might be one of those guys that might have won that first place. As many things as he can do and do well.
McClanahan goes in motion. Cook looking to throw, and Cook was hit by Richardson. Oh, boy. Clay Walker, he knows that he had himself an interception.
Oh, he's madder than a bull right now. My goodness.
Walker coming into the game, 30 tackles, 3 of those for losses. Hoping to have his first interception of the game, of the season.
When you least expect it, Mark, in football. Ball's batted, here it comes to you, and now it's already on you, and you're like, I got to catch this. Ain't nobody around me. I got to catch it. And next thing you know, down at your ankles.
3rd down and 10. Dots are going to have to hustle a bit here. It's a snap. Cook unleashes and in the direction of Bonnet, who was covered by Watson. And that will bring up 4th down. Well, looks like Seth Ramsey. Is he going to go for it again?
I think he's going to punt it out of here, Mark.
Okay, here we go. Bonnet will go back.
But again, he's only 7-8 yards away from the ball. So he may take off running with it or pass it.
Richardson will go back deep for the Raiders. Bonnet. Nice kick by Bonnet. It'll go out of bounds at the 28-yard line, and that's where Roane County will begin play. 23-yard punt by Bonnet, and a break here in the action. It is a 41-0 lead for Roane County over Poca here on our Parmar Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week. Time for Smile Cam, sponsored by Mountain State Oral and Facial Surgery. Restore your smile with same-day smile. Schedule an appointment online with Mountain State Oral and Facial Surgery. The Roane County Raiders on top of the Poca Dots here, 41-0, sixth meeting all time. Roane County coming into this game trying to win it for the first time against the Dots, but they had not met on the field since 1997, back when Paul Burdett was a young guy thinking about what he was going to do someday, and what a terrific job he has done here at his alma mater, Roane County High School. So it was a 42-yard punt by Preston Bonnet, and Roane County has the football at the 23-yard line. Handed off to Richardson, who tries to turn the corner. Richardson has those great shifty moves, but the Dots swarm and will take him down.
Brandon Richardson, the ball carrier.
You don't want to give Richardson any kind of crease.
No, and they didn't. They did a great job of filling at the point of attack and making sure that he didn't get a crease. Good job by the Poca's defense.
Colton Petrie and Minnie there on the stop. Mick, I had a chance to work here in this great town back in 1984-85. Radio, WVRC, AM, and one of my dear friends, Terry Williams, who was the mayor then and is still the mayor now. Great guy watching us tonight here on our Parmar Friday Night Rivals game of the week. Running hard. Clay Walker knows only one way to run. That is hard.
No, and he stays after it. His first hit's not going to bring him down, Mark. He really does a good job keeping his feet going. And, of course, he's new to this offense back here. They put him back here this year, and you're replacing two 1,000-yard backs. It'll take a little bit of time, but as the season goes, and they're trying to be 5-0 right here, which is a great start, they can continue working on that as to get better as the season goes on.
Yeah, think about that. 2,000-yard backs, and then the best back returning, who rushed for about 600. He was injured in the first game of the season.
Yeah, he's out for the year.
Inside handoff, and Richardson thought there for a moment.
Good job.
He was going to slip away, but
Mark, both those guys that gained 1,000 each last year, they did it their junior year also. That's back-to-back years with two backs with 1,000 yards each. That doesn't happen in very many programs.
Landon Coleman made the stop for the Dots. We got a homecoming here tonight at Roane County High School in a few weeks. Big doings with the annual Black Walnut Festival. One of the great festivals in our wonderful state of West Virginia. And Richardson taken down. Rome Bragg takes him down. Bragg, the nose tackle for Poca. I like what they said about Bragg, that being Seth Ramsey just eats up double teams. Biggest guy, but they do get the first down. First down sponsored by the University of Charleston. So fresh set of downs here for the Raiders. Roane is 3 for 3 on fourth downs. Slipping through and finding the crease is Sawyer Hunt, and Hunt takes it to the Poca 49-yard line.
Great job, Mark, by the offensive line on the right side. Good job running the ball, run hard, but a good job by the offensive line firing off, getting in front of those blocks and giving him a chance to get up through there.
16-yard pickup and another first down.
And I'm sure that Paul Burdett, the coach at Roane County, is wanting to kind of like, let's just get some ground gain here. Let's just get this clock rolling and, kind of move on. Let's get these guys some reps in here running the ball.
Walker this time gets the call for Roane County.
Tripped up there by 42, break ball Colley. Second and long coming up for the Raiders.
Second and 10. And here is Richardson finding daylight. Richardson will be brought down by Spencer Jones
Pulled down there by 26.
Here in Spencer, West Virginia, Spencer Jones, a touchdown-saving tackle on the speedy Richardson, another first down, sponsored by the University of Charleston. 30-yard rip there for Richardson.
That is something that Roane County has, under Paul, has been known for, is that inside, pulling those guys and running his speed guys up in there, and it was well blocked at the point of attack. And credit to Spencer Jones, catching him, going, not giving up.
Richardson had 17 carries, 179 yards last year, and here is Sawyer Hunt crashing his way inside the 15-yard line. So the Raiders operating inside that red zone, sponsored by Glenville State University. Glenville State University prepares and inspires students to be thoughtful, productive, engaged, and responsible citizens who contribute to the well-being of their community, state, nation, and world. Pioneer your future.
37, Sawyer Hunt, the ball carrier.
Well, I think you can see now what the game plan is going to be in the second half for Roane County, Mark. They're just going to get a lot of, a little bit of misdirection up inside, but they're really going to try to use those offensive line so they can show them on film and these backs. Inside trap play.
Here is Walker down to the 5-yard line. Give Walker about 7 on the play. In that red zone, sponsored by Glenville State. Paul Burdett, after his outstanding career here at Roane County, he went to Glenville and played for the Pioneers. Played for Paul Schaffner, Warren Ruggiero, and Rick Trickett. Now trying to carve his way for yardage is Hunt. Boy, Hunt, Walker, Richardson, Watson.
A lot of bodies right there. Big bodies.
Rome Bragg in on the stop for that Poca defense. Down to about a minute and a half to go here in the third.
Well, Mark, you had mentioned something in Paul in the pregame that they played 4 of their first 5 games here. Their first game was on the road against Shady, wasn't it?
Yes. We're going to have a timeout here called by the Dots. And with that, we will break away here. All Raiders on FNR. All right, Roane County Raiders leading at 41-0, 1:12 to go here in the third quarter, Mick. And at the moment, this is a 10-play, 73-yard drive. It's taken 5:53 off the clock.
Yes, and we thought that maybe that might be Roane County's MO coming out in the second half being up. They did throw a pass that went for a touchdown early, but once they've got it to 41, I think they're just going to – and I think coaches want to see what they got on film.
Greathouse, and that may have been a busted play, but Greathouse is going to
– They might be putting that in the end. Is that what you're saying?
take it himself.
About just short of the goal line.
Got the half moon here glistening over top of County Stadium.
Yeah, I don't think as a quarterback that you want to do that too many times. That can stop your heart right there. Oh, no, wrong way.
He just about put it in. 3rd down and 1. Greathouse will turn, hand, and into the end zone goes Sawyer Hunt. Touchdown sponsored by Marshall University.
Pretty basic, right, Mark? Football, blocking, running it in, keeping it simple.
We'll have a try for kick. Try for point. Back to Big Cottrell.
So Hunt becomes the 4th different Raider to score a touchdown here tonight. Greathouse a little high on the hold, and this one is good. He got it through there.
Well, it was a great catch and put down. Here you can see right here. Look at that hole, Mark. I think you could run through there.
In the hunt, Sawyer Hunt finds the end zone. Well, how about that?
Yeah, that's a great looking shot right there. The moon.
Our scoring summary is sponsored by Mark A. Hunt and Associates, the Kanawha Valley's premier personal injury law firm. 12 plays, 77 yards, 6:31 off the clock. And Roane County goes up by a count of 48-0.
Well, the coaching staff at Poca has got a job to do right here. And that is tell your kids, just keep playing hard. This is athletics. This is a very good team that we're playing. They're ranked 2nd in the state, and they're a good football team. And you just keep playing and keep improving, and we're going to keep working, and we're going to use this 34 seconds and the fourth quarter to help our team get better for the next time we have to play.
A lot of football to go in this 2023 season.
And some people think that as a football coach, you have to know all this stuff about how you block and how you tackle and how you do this and how you do that. You really got to be more like Dr. Phil than you do Vince Lombardi, because you got to get kids to believe you can do those things.
OVP Health kickoff, formerly Ohio Valley Physicians, in business since 1999, and it was a short one, and Petrie picks it up, and Petrie is going to score for Poca. The dots on the board, second kickoff for a touchdown in this game. 74-yard return. How about Colton Petrie, the freshman, the young man we spoke of earlier that Seth Ramsey said could be the next big-time player at Poca. And he shows a little bit of that right there.
Yeah, great job. Just getting to the outside and outlegging some people to the end zone. A perfect example of what I was just talking about before. Don't quit. Keep going. Let's get some positives out of this, and let's just keep playing.
Cook will hold for Barry. Bradley the snap, and the kick is no good. But the dots are on the board. Another look at it here.
Here he goes. He catches it. 33, keep your head on a swivel there.
Tell you what, he just
good stiff arm, get off of me. I'm
just
going to the end zone, man. I'm a freshman, and I'm getting this thing in the end zone. All you're going to look at is spikes and elbows.
He
not a good picture when you're trying to chase somebody down.
Turned on the speed there, didn't he?
Absolutely. Yeah, he'll remember that forever, Mark. Freshman coming up here. You know, you just tell your kids someday, hey, when we was getting beaten, but by golly, I got a touchdown and ran one back on their homecoming. I'm tickled to death with it.
So now the Dots will kick it off.
It's always stunning what happens during a season. Winning seasons, average seasons, losing seasons, sometimes just one play, one thing that you do can motivate you to continue getting better, whether it's getting in the weight room, getting more reps, getting ready for the next year, playing harder. And sometimes it's a play like that. It motivates a kid to be better.
Well, these young men who are playing now for Poca, they were watching the Ethan Paynes, Toby Paynes, and all those
great teams,
others that helped form some great seasons for Seth Ramsey. So Barry, talked about him earlier, working with Brian Johnson, former Ripley standout kicker, who then went on and kicked at the University of Kentucky. Brian on the call tonight down in my hometown on the radio as Ripley is hosting Oak Hill in its homecoming. Nice little return by Roane County as Garrett Brabham, sophomore. When I hear the name Brabham, Mick, I was a sophomore. Ripley played Spencer, and Ripley had a long winning streak going against the Yellow Jackets down at the old Spencer High Athletic Field there in downtown Spencer.
By where the rubber factory was,
yes,
where they made hockey pucks?
Yeah. And Spencer had Jeff Brabham at running back. He was outstanding, the late Jeff Brabham, and they knocked off Ripley that night. And I remember the Yellow Jackets carrying Jim Hamrick off the field, hoisting him up onto their shoulders. And as a 15-year-old kid, I was a sophomore, I had seen that on television. I'd never seen it in person. And I was just sort of mesmerized, though I was on the losing end of all of that. I was just sort of watching it, and of course, years later, have had the great pleasure of, as have you, being close friends with Jim Hamrick. Direct snap and to the ground will go the ball carrier. That's Colton Starcher into the game for the Raiders. Time running down here, and that will do it for the third. Away we go to the fourth quarter. The Roane County Raiders 4-0 against the 2-2 Dots of Poca. 12 minutes to play, a 48-6 count. You're watching the Parmar Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week.
We'd like to take this opportunity to thank the crowd for their generous sponsorship of the cancer fundraiser. That's both the Poca side and the Roane County side, in support of the Jaden Dayton Summers family, who's a Roane County senior who's fighting cancer. We really appreciate your kindness and your donations. Thank you so much.
4497 was then introduced, also known as the Alex Miller Law, which would require AEDs to be present at all high schools.
All right, thank you, Hannah. Of course, it is something no one here or throughout the landscape of high school sports in West Virginia and beyond will ever forget the passing of that young man. Of course, they have his jersey number there at midfield forever here at County Stadium. Here's Brabham, and Brabham will be wrestled to the ground. Landon Coleman comes up and makes the stop. Mick, earlier tonight here, we were over there admiring the Wall of Fame with names like Sidney Boggs, Joe Evans, Fred Starcher, Bob Zdanek, Gary Bender, Terry Kendall, the late Matt Ashley, Don Starcher, Roy Lester, Todd Kendall, Matt McCulty, on and on, Doug Nichols, of course, Jim Hamrick.
Hey, Fred Taylor from Walton.
Fred Taylor was
longtime Ravenswood football coach and great coach.
Yeah, former Walton Tiger, played there, coached there, and then went to Jackson County, was at Ripley for 1 year, and then took over the program at Ravenswood. There's Jim Hamrick, Mountain State Athletic Conference commissioner, and again, great Spencer High coach, won that state championship, and then the first ever coach here at Roane County High School. And
good dude right there, man.
You know, Jim's been a little under the weather, so we wish him the best. Talked to him today, and he was starting to sound like his old self, and so
pretty good storyteller.
Happy that.
Pretty good storyteller, Mark.
I've had the two of you in the same room together.
Well, now you're talking about lying. You're talking about lying now. There's a difference between storytelling and lying.
Well, we love Jim, and he's watching here tonight. Roane County with a lot of new players in the game. A new quarterback is into the contest in Brody Proctor. And so Roane County will turn it over on downs, and the Dots will take over here.
Well, it looks like there's a lot of new numbers out there on both sides, Mark. You know, during the week, these kids work hard, too, in preparing the kids that are going to be playing the most snaps. It's just as important that they've got to play hard, too. That's why it's a team. It's not an individual thing. This is a team, so it's a big deal.
Now the Raiders of the future, and the Dots, a very young team, 16 freshmen on this Poca team. McClanahan in motion, fake it to McClanahan, give it to Bonnet, and Bonnet bangs straight ahead. Taken down there, Wyatt Greathouse, one of those in on the stop.
Preston Bonnet the ball carry. Left up there by 17, Gabriel Beaver.
Mark, you're talking about some of the guys on that wall in the Hall of Fame and stuff. Man, they have made their mark at Spencer High School and at Walton. There's some of the great athletes in this whole area of the state. I mean, they've all made their mark, and they've gone on to have successful careers as coaches, as men in businesses. So
here's Bonnet. Keeps those legs churning as he takes it to near the 20, maybe the 21, about a 15-yard pickup by Preston Bonnet. He'll get the first down, or first downs here in this fourth quarter. Sponsored by Optimum. Get closer, go farther with Optimum. Peyton Cook with a fresh set of downs here. And now here is Jones zigzagging his way, churning, and gets it to the 10-yard line. Bradley Jones, the sophomore. And that's going to be another first down here as they now operate in the red zone, sponsored by Glenville State University.
Ball placed just inside the 10-yard line. First and goal.
Well, Mick, we were talking about Terry Williams, and he sent me back a text. He invites us to the Black Walnut Festival.
Oh, absolutely.
And I don't know what it is. I mean, funnel cake is funnel cake. Funnel cake is outstanding, but there's something about the funnel cake at the Black Walnut Festival.
For you to say that above and beyond popcorn, I'm
well,
stunned.
I'm talking funnel cake here now.
I get it.
All right. Meanwhile, into the end zone and a touchdown for Spencer Jones. So Brad, his brother, with a nice run, and then Spencer Jones gets the touchdown here in Spencer, West Virginia, for the Dots of Poca. Our touchdown sponsored by Marshall University. So the Dots with another score here. Now, popcorn-wise, the popcorn here at the concession stand tonight, they weren't even open yet, but I snuck in there, and a wonderful lady gave me a bag before the doors had been lifted. Here's Barry ready to put it up, and that one goes through. Barry gets the extra point to make it a 48-13 count.
It doesn't matter what it looks like. Here he comes. They're still blocking out in front. He's got his legs churning, runs through some tackles, and into the end zone. So Poca gets the infield and gets it to 13.
Now, back to popcorn.
I know.
In Spencer.
Yeah.
And I'll say this about anything as we do our scoring summary. Mark A. Hunt and Associates Attorneys at Law. And it's a 4-play, 39-yard drive, 2:46 off the clock. Now, business has been taken care of. The Roby Theater here in town.
Yep.
You can, if they're open and you drive by there, you see that popcorn, you stop. All right, Mick, here is Matt Perry. He is the defensive coordinator. Let's get that picture back up there if we get a chance, because we got to explain this little cutie that he is holding. And his name is Lucas. Yes, Allie is his wife. She's the volleyball coach here.
Yep.
But Matt played for you at Ravenswood, football and basketball.
Yep.
And
point guard.
This little guy is named Lucas Michael, middle name named after you. Most know you as Mick, but you are Michael Lee Price. How about that?
That was a great honor. And Matt and I have really been close. And we always have been. There you can see.
Now, where is Matt? Is that Matt in the red?
Right
there before you. Look at you in the
But
I think you just won a championship, Mick. You don't look happy.
Well, we did. And there's Bose.
There's Bo. The little guy with the basketball. He will be.
I got a grandson in that one. Two grandsons
in there. And
Matt. And now he's got a son. Oh, I'm just tickled for him and Allie. They're such good people, and they do. And man, I'm proud of the man he's become, the coach he's become. And Allie's done a nice job with the volleyball program, and they're both good teachers, and they're young. So wish them the best. They're really special to me.
OVP Health kickoff as the Raiders haul it in, and it's Leland Schaefer, a junior. He takes the kickoff to around the 31-yard line, and the red zone sponsored by Glenville State University, and that's where they met, right? In college? Did they meet in college?
Yeah, Glenville. Both of them went to Glenville. Yep. They both went to Glenville, and she played there. And Matt did a lot of stuff, like statistical stuff for the programs and things like that they had, whether it was basketball or football or whatever. So he was involved with the athletic programs a lot. And, they met over there. Got married, got jobs here in Spencer, West Virginia, and I'm proud of both of them. They're just good people. She's a Michigan girl. Huge Wolverine fan. Huge. Her whole family is.
All right, Raiders on the attack. Hand it off, and Schaefer slips down. All right, I want to read this to you, Mick. See if I can get through it, because I'll tell you what kind of choked me up when I read it. This is what Matt sent me. He said, Coach Price has been an influential person in my life since I was probably 7 years old. Many hours a week in the gym or football field, he showed me the values and principles of the way a coach should work. Over the course of 7 years playing middle school football and varsity football and basketball for Mick, I learned many lessons and had many conversations of him talking and me listening. All these were probably necessary to help shape me into the man I am today.
I'm going to have to.
Raiders Said once we found out we were expecting a boy, I figured the name could be taken care of easily. We named our son Michael Lucas, after a great friend in college, Michael from Coach Price. I'm forever indebted to Coach Price for everything he has done for me over the last 20 years. He's never turned his back on me and has always been willing to help. So there you go, buddy. That's what coaching's all about, right there.
It's an honor.
That's what you have done for so many down through the years. Yes, you have 700 wins. Yes, you've been the Underwood Award winner. You've been the Coach of the Year for all high school coaches in the state, but that says a lot, my man. Here is the pitch to Schaefer, and bouncing around and falls on it. Of course, this is your last game with us.
Yes, it is.
Here on FNR, so we wanted to certainly a nice way to
North-South game.
Finish it off. Yep, we had the North-South. Yeah,
and then we did the
Jim
first.
Jim Mahan will take over.
Yep.
You and Jim, you and Jim used to kind of switch it off. You would do the early games because basketball season was coming, which you, of course, will be coaching the Red Devils.
50 days.
Season 45, right?
November 13th,
Yeah, season 45. And I always do like to remind you of this. Your first year at Ravenswood, of course, they were the rival Ripley. It was my senior year at Ripley.
Yeah, that's it. and I'm okay with that. I think I think I helped you a couple spots, even though I was from Ravenswood.
You did. But nonetheless, and Jim was still in administration then, so school was getting started. So he really didn't want to work. He wasn't ready to do the games. And Grant Rhodes gives us a call coming up on a 4th down here. So Jim and you are now both retired, although you still are coaching, and I'm grinding away for both of you.
Hey, I'm telling you right now, Jim Mahan has missed his calling. He is he should be on American Got Talent. He can do impersonations of everybody.
Quick kick by the Raiders.
Oh, he's got it fielded.
Starcher there, and the ball is loose, and the Raiders are on it.
Hey, he got back
he comes.
He pulled it out of there.
Into the hands of Watson. He thought Watson had lost it. And we will break away here, 48-13, clock running on FNR. Tonight's champions of the game trophy, along with our Todd Judy Ford Scholar Athlete plaques, come to us all season long from all sport trophies in Cedar Grove. Call them for all of our award needs at 304-539-1668. Was that another scoop and score this season?
Somebody stole it, Mark.
Was it Dan?
They're running down through town with a trophy or something. I don't know. It's going.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I think it was Dan.
Wrapped up there by 33.
Dan's the guilty party. Tonight's Parmar Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week streaming on Facebook Live is being sponsored by Jan Dills, Attorneys at Law. Car wreck? Call Jan Dills, Attorneys at Law. Nonetheless, that Champions of the Game trophy, Coach Burdett and his crew, they've won a few now.
Yeah.
It'll be 17 straight regular season games that Roane County has now won. Low snap, pitch it out here to Watson, who looks to turn the corner, and Lotson banging in to the Roane County defender. Coming up, Gabriel Deaver on the stop there. Well, you know Watson. He's a young guy. Check that, he's a senior. Deaver's a young guy.
Poca Valley Bank is your T-shirt gun sponsor this evening.
East Coast Tees is more than T-shirts. They specialize in vehicle reps, signs, window graphics, banners, and embroidery, too. Go to eastcoasttees.com to see what they can do for you. Got my main man, Kenny Bass, the Hall of Famer, Jason Hurst. Make the trek back from Spencer to Charleston for Friday Night Football Extra at 11:10. Handed off, and Jones, Spencer Jones, who has that touchdown for Poca tonight. New quarterback in the game for the Dots. And that is
first down.
Christian Cook, freshman.
First down, Dots at the Raider 25-yard line.
And next week, 2 weeks from now, we will be at O.O. White Stadium. Poca will entertain Winfield. So we'll see the Dots again. Love O.O. White Stadium, Bob Lemley Field, at the smokestacks there. A lot of history at that facility.
Mark, I think their middle school's named Bob Lemley Field, too. He may be the only person I know that has two fields named after him in the same town.
Well, here is Cook.
Impressive.
Taking it to the 10-yard line in the Glenville State University Red Zone. Red Zone sponsored by Glenville State University. Well, Bob Lemley was something else as a coach and just a great guy, and I know you had a great relationship with him, along with their great basketball coach there at Poca, Alan Osborne. Had you and Alan battling there in the semifinal game at the state tournament a couple of years ago. 2 700-game winners, most wins collectively of any two coaches in state tournament history.
Bob and I coached middle school football against each other. Uh-oh.
Young Cook got the snap and scooped it up, and Cook is going to get it into the end zone. What an effort by Christian Cook for the Poca touchdown, as time is about to expire here in this football game.
Well, he made a great effort to get it in there and get some points on the board. And
well, like you said earlier, these are the kind of things you just grow with it.
Got
and
to.
Something you can remember. I mean, hey, yeah, I was playing in a game, and time was winding down, and snap was low. I scooped it up and wheeled around the left-hand side and got in. All right, so they will go for two here with 2.9 showing on the clock. Cook looking to throw and fires and tipped, and it will fall incomplete.
I think it was tipped by his own player, Mark. If he just the first player would have let it alone, no try to, I think it would have been an extra
I think he was
point.
intending it for Petrie.
Yeah.
Our scoring summary sponsored by Mark A. Hunt and Associates, the Kanawha Valley's premier personal injury law firm. 5 plays, 49 yards, 3:18 off the clock. Also, while we have a minute, tonight's T-shirt gun sponsor, Poca Valley Bank. Poca Valley Bank leverages the value of your home and explores all the possibilities with a Poca Valley Bank home equity line of credit. Poca Valley Bank, where relationships matter.
Folks, as you leave the stadium tonight, please remember the trash cans are at the bottom of each stairwell. Please gather up your trash and take it with you to the camp. Thank you.
A beautiful night for football. I think we were talking about Roane County and the 17-game regular season winning streak. Last time they lost was October 21st, 2022 against the Doddridge County Bulldogs.
Good team.
Yeah, they've had some really good teams there.
Coach Burnside has done a really good job up there. Klein Stansberry, the man.
Oh, my
That's
gosh.
what we see the other day. He's seen 8 decades of football. Man, what a guy.
Barry will kick it off here, OVP Health kickoff. And Coach Burnside spent time here in Roane County as a coach before going to Doddridge County. And I got to get this in. Our man, Robert Stegall, great statistician. He should give Poca a lot of credit. They didn't quit, and certainly they didn't. And Robert here tonight, his grandparents on the Miller side, graduates of Old Spencer High School.
Robert does a great job, man. He saves us. Makes us look good.
Hauling in the kickoff is Brody Proctor, and that will do it. Roane County Raiders at the midway point, now 5-0, and the Polka Dots at 2-3. And Roane County extends that regular season winning streak to 17 straight games. Number 2 in Class AA will return, and we will present the Raiders with that Champions of the Game trophy. All over Roane County, 48, Poca 19. First ever win for Roane County in 6 tries against the Dots from Putnam County. You're watching our Parmar Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week. We welcome you back inside County Stadium on the campus of Roane County High School in Spencer. Roane County winning it over the Polka Dots in our latest Parmar Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week. And we head down to Hannah Klein, standing by with the head coach of the Raiders, Paul Burdett, and his victorious team that is now 5-0. Hannah?
Mean to you.
Well, you know, Poca's had a really good football team for years, and what they were able to do with Roane County High School in the 90s, you know, it kind of stung a little bit, and we talked about it this week about how we'd never beat Poca as a school, and, you know, we'd only scored 12 points. So to come out here tonight and have this type of performance against them, you know, it felt really good.
And at the beginning of the game, we talked to you, and you talked about this team staying focused and showing out on that field. Do you feel like they proved that?
Yeah, well, I think we had a great week of practice, and you know, we'd only scored 14 points in the first half in the first 4 games, and to come out and have the performance we did in the first half is huge, and very proud of our guys.
Well, congratulations on being the first to honor you F&R Champions of the Week. Another win for you guys. Guys, I want to hear you as well. Congratulations.
On this one.
Final thoughts. Coach Burdett and his Roane Raiders come in here on homecoming, did exactly what they needed to do. They improved to 5-0. And they will look forward to going to Ripley next week, and then they got a bye week, so they're getting ready after having a great season last year and trying to fill in the spots and having playing with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, for Poca, they'll play Sissonville. We'll see them in a couple of weeks against Winfield on FNR, and it was a big night for Lane Watson. Took that to kick off 90 yards for a touchdown to get things started, and Roane County wins it going away 48-19. Mick, great being with you this season, partner.
Thank you, Mark. I'll miss you guys. You guys do a great job, and I enjoyed the high school experience of all these teams that we did. It was great to be here.
All right, best of luck with you and the Running Red Devils this season. So here in our latest installment of the Parmar Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week, it's Roane County 48, Poca 19. For Mick Price, Hannah Klein, our great FNR crew, this is Mark Martin. We say so long from the campus of Roane County High School in beautiful Spencer. We thank you for watching the Parmar Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week.
This time he gets around the left side, and we'll see how fast he can go. He's at the 30, the 40, the 50. It doesn't look like anybody's going to catch Miles Graham. 10-5 all the way to the house.
McDougal will toss it back. Easterly, the throwback. McDougal has got a block. Jumps over a man. Stays on his feet near sideline. Bennett McDougal.
The punt here is blocked. They got a hand on it and caught. This could be a score right here. It's a foot race. That's a touchdown. Carter Newman on the punt.
His first year as a starter. Coming a big way, and here's an onside kick, and Greenhill's got it.
Stepler back to throw. Goes long, left, got a man, and he caught it. Oh, no. He's intercepted. Wow. Well, somebody caught it. It's picked off. Number 3, Jack Detro.
Jackson Clark from 50.
No, it's blocked. It's blocked. The Raiders come through. The 50-yarder doesn't get past his foot. And the crowd goes wild on senior night. And the Raiders are going to get the victory.